I was trying to save the girl lying on the ground. I leaned down and brought my mouth close to her face. An older woman passing by was so frightened she fell to the ground. She panicked and thought I was doing something terrible, so she immediately called the police. That night I was taken to the police station. Someone walked up and kicked me hard and accused me of being a monster who raped and killed the girl. But I was mentally disabled, so I didn't know how to defend myself at all. I was just scared and wanted to go home. Before long, the court sentenced me to death. I was sent to prison. When the captain saw me, he viciously smashed a phone into my head. I was taken to cell number 7. After the inmates saw my sentence papers, they were filled with anger toward me, so the boss jumped up and slapped me across the face. I tried to run away, but the others covered my head with a blanket and pinned me to the ground. They formed a circle and took turns kicking me. They wished they could stomp me to death. That was how I began living a life worse than death. Only during outdoor time could I barely catch my breath. I could only squat in the corner, silently writing my daughter's name with a stick. That was when I noticed a group nearby staring at the boss. They quietly moved closer to him. I instantly panicked because I didn't want anyone to get hurt. So I stood up, and before the big man could rush the boss, I pushed him away with all my strength, but I was stabbed hard in return. When the boss realized what happened, he immediately knocked the thug to the ground, but I lay there in so much pain I couldn't speak. After returning to the cell, the boss was very surprised by me because I didn't look like someone who would harm a child. He didn't think too much about it. Instead, he asked what I wanted because he never owed anyone favors. And in this prison, there was nothing he couldn't get. Nervously, I said I wanted to see my daughter. He froze instantly, but he had already promised me, so he had no choice but to figure out a way. During a church performance visit, he arranged for Aishin to join the performance group. Then in the chaos, he led her out backstage. He put Aishin into a cardboard box and pushed her on a small cart straight to cell 7. Inside the cell, she crawled out of the box. Not only was Aishin not afraid, she widened her eyes and kept observing everyone. The boss told her not to be scared, but unexpectedly Aishin ignored him completely. Instead, she stared straight at me in the corner. At that moment, I turned around and my eyes widened. I cried and crawled over holding my daughter tightly in my arms. Aishin immediately burst into tears. She waved her little hands crying and asking why I suddenly left. But I couldn't explain it either, so I could only keep apologizing. The other prisoners just stood there staring at our reunion. Even the boss didn't dare to stop us, because he was afraid of alerting the guards. At that moment, one prisoner couldn't hold it in anymore. If they were discovered for sneaking someone inside, their sentences would definitely be extended again. So he suddenly rushed to the door and began shouting loudly,